Hello, this is Mixtips USA with a winter tip on dispensing block adhesive onto cow blocks. So we know in the wintertime we have a lot of complaints of failed blocks and issues with adhesion. So we've obviously done a lot of testing in the winter in the labs trying to figure it out. We've been out in the field trying to figure it out, and I think a lot of you guys have come up with your own theories on how to fix it, and you have, and we don't hear complaints anymore from most people, but we just wanted to try to share what we had found to try to help prevent those that are still having issues or prevent them from having issues. So we're working with Trimmer's Choice today, because that's our brand. So the main thing, always, be it winter, summer, fall, doesn't matter when, we always want to self-level the pistons in the cartridge. That's critical. Always want to do that. Whether it has a mixer on it and you've already used it to apply a few blocks, or it's a brand new cartridge out of a case. You always want to level the pistons. So it's simple. Just take your nose plug off or your mixer off, and obviously if it's used, dispose of it. Put the cartridge into the dispensing tool. Set your tool to your pistons. Small waste cup. Just pump a little, just enough to show that both equalized pistons. Perfect. You don't need to lose a bunch of material, just a little bit. Now they're nice and leveled. Now put a fresh mixer on. Put your retaining nut back on. Holds the mixer on. You're ready to go. So the tip is this. When these products are dispensed, urethanes, be it the equine products or the bovine products, they all have a reaction when the two products meet. You got a polyol and an isocyanate. When those two products meet, traveling through the mixer, they heat up. And that's the exothermic reaction. Trimmer's Choice, around 220 F, which is perfect. So in room temperature here, it's 70 degrees. Outside, it's probably 30. So in here, at room temperature, it's working its way right to the top. It's already up over 200 degrees. So generally in the summertime and in the warmer months, we don't have any issues, any complaints, we don't hear anything. Come in the winter months is when we started finding failures, people having issues. So we did some research to find out what we thought it was, and we came up with is what we're sharing with you today. Is we feel that there's a few things. First and foremost is always properly store your adhesive. Be it a hot box. We know a lot of you guys, John Cordray shared some photos of the hot boxes that they have in their dairy, and some other guys have shared stuff that are on their chute. So there are some nice hot boxes out there. There's some heat bags. There's all kinds of different ways and products to keep and heat your product, which is great. So you definitely want to do that. You don't ever want your product to freeze, because let's face it, if the product is cold, you dispense your adhesive onto a block or onto any substrate that you're adhering, whether it be a hoof for horses or for a claw on a cow. If it's cold outside or the product's cold, it's going to make it harder and it's going to take it longer to reach that exotherm, whatever the exotherm may be. Like I shared with you, Trimmer's Choice is around 220. Farrier's Choice may be 190. Other products or competitors may be 180, maybe 210, we don't know, but whatever it is, no matter whose product you're using, they're all going to have a max. And that max, that product wants to meet in order to give you the adhesion and the strength that you're looking for. So if the product's really cold, obviously it's going to take longer for it to reach it. If the product's at room temperature, it's going to get there faster. So I think in the summertime, you guys have a rhythm, you have a system, you get the cow in the chute, you trim it, you adhere your block, you set that cow down after 2 minutes. Be it a minute. Whatever it is that you do that works for you is what you do. When that product's really cold, in the wintertime, and you're using that same time frame of let's set them down in a minute or 2 minutes or whatever it may be, it's when that product's cold, it may not be enough, because that product may still be taking time to cure. So you might be setting that cow down early and it's not quite adhered, there's not enough strength in the adhesion to keep the block there, and it may shift, it may move, it may get into a point where it can be peeled back off. So it's critical to keep the product warm prior to using the product on the claw, or be it the hoof if it's the equine industry. But the tip that we found, so that's one tip, and it's an important tip, but the other tip is during the process. So now you've taken your product from your hot box, you've taken your product from your heat bag or wherever you have, and the product's nice and warm like it's supposed to be. Perfect. But now you're taking that product out into the elements. So it could be, and I know you guys work in some tough elements, it could be below zero at times, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, whatever it may be, it's cold. So you're taking that product back into the cold. So now what happens is when you dispense your product onto your block in that cold weather, you got to remember that when you dispense that nice warm product, that product, again, in room temperature, in our labs, everything is great, but it's not like in the field where you guys are. So in the field, as that product is trying to meet the 220, yes, we warm the product up. That's one element out of the equation. That's good. The product comes out warm and it's at room temperature coming out of the box. But now the other thing is the ambient temperature around that adhesion. So that ambient temperature is, again, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, in some cases below zero. That's trying to reach that 220. In Trimmer's Choice's case, it's trying to reach 220, but that ambient temperature isn't allowing it to. So simply, what we found and we've tested, take a heat gun, warm up the block prior to, we know some of you guys do that and have good luck with that. Again, John Cordray is one of the guys that shared that he does that, and he has luck warming his block up, and that's what he does. And that's great, continue to do that. But the key for the heat gun also is, when you apply that block and you set it on that cow, simply turn your heat gun on and just kind of warm up that area around the block. Just warm that air up to allow that product to not see that 30 degrees, 20 degrees. Allow that heat gun to warm that area up just for the minute or so before that product cures. It's been a huge tip. We found success in it. We've tried and we've tested without the heat gun, and we see that the product isn't meeting the exotherm, and we're getting a lot of failures that way. Not only us, but our competitors. So this is our tip to you. Use a heat gun, keep your product warm, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us on Facebook. We're on the World of Hoof Trimming, and a lot of you know Mixtips USA and who we are. Our distributors can all help you. But any failures or anything, we're here for you to support you, and we'll continue to give you tips as we find them in the labs and out in the field. Thank you.